guys. Hey, how you doing out there? Woo! Talk about full moon vibes. My poor little baby Memes here has just had another seizure. Oh my god. Luckily he only fell off a chair this time. Poor baby. My goodness, what's going on? In some ways it is my own fault because, and in some ways it's his fault because we had a calcium supplement for him, and he was fine with it at first, but then he just didn't. The last couple of days he just hasn't wanted to have it. He's just literally been, and I've just thought, wow, he's so strong to have that impulse to just get it away from me and sort of squirming and being really in his sort of in his ability to kind of have that impulse, that I thought, okay, well, I'm just going to follow his lead and let him sort of make the decision on this one. And so for about 2 days I haven't been giving it to him. So I did then just call the vet, and she said no, it can take a long time to re-establish the sort of balance of electrolytes. And this is what we're realizing, is that shot kind of does, like, the first thing it does is to be fair, the first thing anything does is mess up our electrolyte balance. Okay, and she's having the same problem with her cats, and she's got 4 and they've all got kittens, so it's pretty intense. I think this new shot is something to stay well clear of, guys. Okay. And oh my god, guys, happy full moon to you. Hasn't even happened yet, so we're going to be building and building the intensity around this one up until tonight. But I wanted to come on, and I was going to start with a bit of housekeeping before I kind of went into sort of the breadth and depth of this one, which was to say, if I can gather the the enthusiasm for it now, having just been through a little bit of trauma, which was to say that I just wanted to send a shout out to the bit shitters, okay, because I only just noticed it goes into my kind of other folder on emails, but they I think they didn't want me to delete my other channel, guys, and they sent me a very nice email just sort of saying, are you sure? Do you want to sort of delete this account? But unfortunately I missed that email, and so obviously it was written in the stars, and that was what was meant to happen. And so that was really, I just wanted to say a little bit about all of that kind of thing, which was I mean, gosh, that channel, guys, it was starting to grow, and it had started doubling in viewership. So it takes some balls, it takes some ovaries, guys, to to just sort of flush it down the toilet like that. And for that reason, I actually really do want to, number one, say thank you. This is a my gratitude kind of list for today. So thank you to the bit shitters, okay, and the guys behind the scene, because they're pretty cool. And thank you to my subscribers, because you guys are amazing, and you have fully stuck with me when I was only getting 20 views, and then it went to 50 views, and then it doubled again to over 100 views, guys, in like literally within a couple of days. And so that to me is pretty damn exciting. I mean, I know that these other influencers want kind of 10,000 views plus. Can't imagine it, guys. But the truth is that when, you know, YT only allow you like 5, 100 is pretty damn good. Okay, so I'm actually pretty, I feel, you know, I feel blessed. I feel pretty blessed with that, you know, I have to say. And so I'm so thankful, and I'm so grateful. And you know, I felt like maybe I was saying something that people wanted to hear, and so I just pray for me and for those people that they find me over here, guys. So if you know of anyone who was viewing and they've missed me, I've missed you too. And you know, kind of point them in this direction if you want. Okay, and then finally, I actually wanted to say thank you to my friends, okay, because they do kind of stand by me and they do stick by me. And you know, one thing, guys, that you may or may not have realized is that I do exaggerate just a teeny tiny bit, okay. And you know, I wasn't being entirely honest when I said that I only had 2 friends. Okay, I do have a few more than that, and they are super special people, honestly, and they are the chosen ones. Okay, because you know, I'm pretty. I was gonna say I'm pretty tricky. I can be, but I'm pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? Picky. I knew it rhymed. Pretty picky when it comes to kind of long-term friends, okay? And so thank you for those guys, because, and you know who you are, and I really do appreciate you. And I know that, you know, you have to hear me say that I don't, nobody likes me and da 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 da, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, I thought we were friends. And so we are, I hope, still, after all of this BS. And yeah, so thank you. And I think that's it on that front. But let's just start, guys, as we mean to go on, by just gathering ourselves. And I just want to do a little grounding breath here with you guys today. I feel like I need a bit of grounding. I just was barefoot on the earth, but I'm feeling like, you know, I'm feeling, you know, a little bit like poor little Memes was here just a couple of hours ago. And yeah, so we're just gonna do a very short version of this grounding breath. Okay, so we're just going to imagine that the breath, we're pulling the breath down like a sock, okay, and it's just coming down from the heavens, and it's just going to cover and imbibe every single cell in the body, and then breathing out, so that's breathing in through the head, down through the body, and out through the feet, okay, grounding it to Mama Earth, right? And then we're going to breathe up once from the earth, up through the body and out through the top of the head. And then a final one down through the top of the head, imbibing it all the way through the body and down into the earth. Okay, so breathing in. And out through the feet. Breathing in that divine intelligence, pure spirit, guidance. And then breathing in through the feet. Breathing in Mama Gaia, the energies, out through the top of the head. Really merging heaven and earth here, again, in through the top of the head. And out through the feet. Okay. Wanted to do that with little Memes here as well, so that he got some good, loving, positive energy vibes. And don't worry, he is getting plenty of them. Okay. And so, gosh, I'm too relaxed now. I'm used to being on sort of hyperdrive mode. So okay, so I wanted, guys, to talk to you a little bit about the next couple of months. Now, you know, I've got to bring this to you guys over here because I do believe that most of the people that are over here are really only interested in the news, okay? And the truth is, guys, that the news, it can't really tell you anything. You know, and these two guys that have been right at the top of the whole kind of pandemic news, they don't know anything. They're just lying. They're just bullshitters. Bullshitters, you know. And, you know, I mean, for God's sake, I don't know who could ever possibly believe that those two guys, sorry, Mama's meowing and she probably just wants food, but I think I better go and see what she wants. Okay, so I'm just going to put you on hold here. James, you stay there, my darling. Sorry about that. She was just meowing, and I think actually she was calling Memes here to come and visit her in my room. I thought she was downstairs, but she wasn't, because she actually must have done that the other day, and for the first time he actually went up the stairs, and so I couldn't see anyone when I came in, and then when I came upstairs they were in my room on the bed, and I thought, wow, because she would, there's no, I mean, she never picked them up anyway, even when they were tiny kittens. She kind of didn't get that impulse, and so she must have been calling him, and I think that's what she was doing just now. But anyway, I let her out. She's such an outdoor cat. Oh my God, I tell you. And he's such an indoor cat, and that's really why I wanted to keep one of my babies, because she was just not, I mean, I love her, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love her, and everyone loves her. She's such a sort of unusual cat. But she was, and sort of still is, she was a total addict. She was a complete dopamine fiend when I met her, and I would have to feed her like 4 times just in the first half hour of waking, and like every 2 hours. And I've realized now why. Well, 2 reasons. One, she just had worms. She was just riddled with them. And but I didn't have her worms, so we have managed to control the worms and get rid of them through natural foods, okay? But she does still eat junk food, basically, which he just takes one sniff at and wants to cover over, you know, because he's just used to natural food. And but anyway, so, but she was also born in a barn, and I kind of said to myself, because we had a cat like that, was sort of born under a bush and just reared outside, and I said to myself, I never want to get an outdoorsy cat again, because they just don't really connect with you very much. Now she has, but she wanted to go outside so quickly as soon as I got her. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Yes, my darling, I know. We're going to get you back on your feet soon, but you need to rest for today, don't you? Anyway, so my point being, guys, the only people who really know what the heck is going on, okay, and this is the God's honest truth, right, are the astrologers, okay? So if you're not watching astrology and you're just watching this banal kind of bullshit of particularly men who, you know, are pretending, okay, to know something about what's going on behind the scenes, have you looked at those men? Do they look like powerful men to you? No, they're not. I don't trust those kinds of men. Honestly, I literally don't. I mean, there are very few types of men in particular that I trust. You know, and I actually saw a statistic yesterday which said something along the lines of, and I think men need to get more on board with this, particularly about the kinds of women that they are willing to go for and trust. Because it actually said men will consider 80% of the women that they see and that they look at, basically, they will consider being in a relationship with them. They will, and more than that, I mean, I remember saying this to men in my life years ago and just saying, you know, I've just noticed and I just find it so gross. So I am waiting for a man who has some fucking integrity, right? They will just look at every woman and more or less imagine embedding her, basically. And I just find it disgusting. Or just think, could I, would I, should I, can I be in a relationship with them? What are they like? You know, and they'll really, even when they're in a relationship, or maybe they're not in a relationship, but they're winding up 3, 4, 5, 20 different women in Messenger, okay? You know, can't trust those guys, seriously. And then women, on the other hand, so listen to this, guys, right? And this is why you need to start being a bit more discerning, right? Women only consider 4% of men that they see, okay? Because they got something going on up here, right? Whereas men, they literally haven't grown up yet. It's so sad. But anyway, my point being that the astrologers know, okay? And so we're coming into now a time of full disclosure, and I really, really know it because it isn't just happening on a world scale, although yes, it is happening on a world scale, and everything's going to be coming out now. You know, it will start to snowball. Oh, damn it. And that's the other thing. I'll stop this video, I think, again, and because I want to get something in a minute and I'll bring it to you, but that I forgot to bring upstairs. But it's full disclosure, basically, guys, and there's no more lies, okay? So if you're hiding and lying, it's all going to be coming out to the surface, okay? And I had a situation with that the other day where I just, you know, kind of accidentally saw what a few people were getting up to that would have loved to have tried to lie about it behind, you know, and or, you know, and not even, because a lot of the ways that people lie is just by not saying anything, okay? And so it's about avoiding the truth. It's just about, you know, sort of misleading people by not saying the truth of what's actually going on. And they think because they're not saying what's going on, that they're not lying, okay? But full disclosure, guys, I mean, we're moving away from Scorpio, okay? That's what this axis is about. And so the ways that Scorpio are, and but not so much the sun sign. What I've noticed about sun sign Scorpios are and what I'm noticing about sun signs generally is that those we more or less have mastered our sun sign. Okay, that's why we sort of come in with it. We've mastered it. But it's things like our rising sign, okay, that we need to come to master. And so, but also there are others, you know, like Mercury, Venus, and that kind of thing. So what you'll find is that Scorpio suns aren't necessarily very sort of hiding and lying and making, you know, things difficult for people. But Scorpio rising, Scorpio Venus, Scorpio Mars, I'm sure, and Scorpio Mercury and Moon, you got to watch out for those people because quite often they're just hiding. It's not that they're bad people, it's that they sort of have low self-esteem, that they're scared, they're nervous, and you know, and they need to bring the truth of their being, but they're scared too, okay? So they're hiding usually, and they have a lot of stuff in the closet, okay? And so those people in particular are going to be being outed in lots of different ways in their lives. And I don't personally, you know, I don't know how, you know, a lot of those people are going to be outed, but I've seen, you know, some of them, okay? And you know, it's all good, particularly if you are someone who has been on the receiving end of that, because it can give you the power to move forward once it all comes out and once you know the truth. Okay, so don't worry about the truth. I always say true healing means everybody heals. Okay, nobody gets left behind, really, unless they are personally not choosing to heal. Okay, I mean, you know, one person in your life can start a healing ball rolling, but then if you aren't choosing to kind of continue with that, and they see that and they go sayonara, then, you know, their healing is not going to be impacting you any longer because they've removed themselves. Okay, so anyway, the truth is that full disclosure is going to be happening. It's going to be starting over the next 2 months and going on for about the next 6 months. Okay, but again, with the Scorpio sort of situation and Scorpio vibe, and sorry, not so much the Scorpio, but just the energies that we're moving into is that, you know, and I'm not an astrologer and I don't want to be, okay? So please, astrologers out there, stop trying to force your courses down my throat. I don't want to be an astrologer, okay? I know enough and I'm slowly learning myself, okay? I don't really want to know everything, because as well, I have my own intuitive way of understanding symbols and things like that. You know, it's the same with tarot. I have personal ways of understanding certain tarot cards, and people, you know, like the Seven of Swords, who are in my life, and the devil, you know, so I can't really read for somebody else particularly well, and I don't really want to do that, but I know what they mean for me, because they all have personal messages and personal meanings, and that's why I encourage everyone to just kind of get on board with that and learn some astrology and about the tarot for yourself, so that you can know what's going on with the situations in your life and around you in particular. Okay, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to read for everyone, but maybe in 20 years time you really will be able to, you know. And I like learning organically like that. Okay, that's how I want to learn, right? But anyway, so but one of the things that the astrologers are very much saying is that this year has kind of been an opportunity to catch your breath, okay, after the last 2 years. But what we're going to be experiencing over the next 2 years, okay, you ain't seen nothing yet, right? And it's 10 times worse than what we had over the last 2 years. And I even saw one astrologer that I follow who is all about the Benjamins, guys, like entirely, even admitting just the other day that everything is going to be dropping like dominoes, okay, particularly in the financial system, okay. And I've already got one friend who can't get her money out of her bank account. They've locked it into her bank account, and I keep hearing those sorts of things happening, okay. I actually believe that we're going to be the first generation who are not going to get a inheritance. You know, I really see that happening, because all money is not currency. It's not physical currency. It's just digits on a screen, and it only takes one button, guys. So anyone who thought that crypto was safe as well, you know, and this is one of the reasons why I'm just so glad actually now that my life has materialized the way that it has, which is to say, I've never built up a big sort of well of riches, because we're all going to have to start from ground zero again over the next 2 years. It's all going to be wiped clean. And those people in particular are the ones that are going to have to be dealing with that and dealing with the fact that they've lost something, you know. And but the thing is that that is what this realm, living in this worldly plane, okay, I'm not going to say earthly plane, because the world and the earth are two different things, but we're living in a worldly plane and we are prisoners here. And part of the prison, a big part of the prison, and that's why they have, you know, really tried to hammer it into the new cages over the last 2 years, that money is something that you want to have. No, it isn't, because this plane is all about loss, really, and it's all about learning to let go. And how well can you do it? And how well are you able to let go and move on? And there was a saying once, I can't remember how it goes, but it was something about that. And it was just sort of saying that basically, you know, unless you're actually able to let go and move on, everything is nothing. And you're just firmly stuck and stagnant, okay? And so the big one, the big push over the last 2 years has been that the controllers have gotten people in the new cage interested in digits. And so now, just with the flick of a switch, guys, you're going to lose all of those digits, and you're going to feel like you've actually lost something, but you haven't really lost anything. But you're going to have to, you know, come to terms with that. You know, nobody can help you, really. This is the nature of loss, and this is the nature of, you know, having to go through it personally. Is that we have to? It's a singular journey. It's one that we take on our own, and particularly when we have to let go of people. Okay, we can't then just phone a friend, you know, and try and pick up where we left off with somebody else, kind of thing, because, you know, that isn't about learning about loss. Okay, that's cheating in a way, but it isn't cheating, because it's just going to backfire onto you. There's no way that you can go through your life without learning to individually understand, understand and overstand loss, okay, and let go and move on in a beautiful way, you know, and have a beautiful life. And, you know, some people really have to let go, and we're all going to have to do that over the next 2 years of our lives, guys. It's going to get gnarly, it's going to get ugly. And a lot of people don't want to believe that. Unfortunately, it's really going to be difficult probably in the cities, okay? And this is why myself and, you know, several other people want to actually go much more remote, because that's really where you're going to be safe. I mean, somebody said it to me years ago. Actually, the irony is, even though we've been conditioned, again, guys, we've been conditioned by the controllers through television and films and, you know, all of that kind of stuff, and also news and stuff like that. We've actually been conditioned to be scared of nature, okay? But the truth is that the further out in nature you go, the safer you are. I mean, even from wild animals, because honestly, unless they are seriously hungry and you happen to be just in the way and, you know, hanging around or making them feel threatened, they aren't going to attack you. You aren't food, really, to a wild beast. You know, they have their food and they know their food, okay? Anyway, I'm going to have to cut this one down, you know, probably, because I'm just about to go up to my half an hour. But yeah, just wanted to bring that to you guys. Full disclosure coming soon, and it's now. It's happening now. It's happening in people's lives. It's happening in our own lives. It's happening in the people of the lives around you. So get ready to know everything, the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Enjoy.